Welcome back. Today, as promised, we're going to start on that very special project. Today we'll be making the Aquillian from the Men in Black series. As I've stated before, I'm extremely excited about this build. This will be a two-part build. The first part will be the Aquillian in his control seat. The second part will be the head of the humanoid that he's in control of. So let's get started. At first I thought I was going to have to find a way to build this little guy, but I found him on Amazon. And that's going to give me a running start for this project. The little guy is hollow and made of stiff rubber, so I'm going to use some Romex wiring to give him skeletal structure. That way I can manipulate his body into different positions. To keep this surgical procedure minimally invasive, I'm going to cut some small slits in the bottom of his feet and then snake the wire up into his head. I'll perform the same procedure on both feet and snip off any excess wire that protrudes. I'm filling the hollow cavities with hot glue to hold the wire in position. To insert the wiring for the arms, I cut small slits inside the palms. Again using hot glue to fill the cavities and hold the wire in place. After giving him some preliminary bends, I get started on his control seat. For that, I'm using some cardboard and foam edge protector that came with my wine cooler. This is exactly why I have a stockpile of seemingly useless material. I cut several pieces of the edging the exact same size and then attach them using a combination of contact cement and hot glue. Strips of foam have to be removed on some of the sections to get a better connection. I'll be using contact cement and hot glue for the entire build of the control seat. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, press that like button, also press that bell notification so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. I found that the contact cement had a corrosive effect on the foam material, so that's where I used the hot glue. With the main structure of the control seat completed, I can start on the embellishments. I'll be using some self-sticking faux leather to cover the control seat. After getting an approximation of how much material I'll be needing, I cut off a manageable piece. After carefully removing the protective cover from the adhesive backing, I slowly and carefully apply it to the control seat. I'm taking all this time and extra care so that I could salvage as much of the material as possible. After completing the skin of the control chair, I cut out some faux rivets from some 2mm EVA foam. Using hot glue to attach them to the outside edge of the control seat. The rivets are painted silver for that metallic effect. I use my X-Acto knife to cut a slot in the bottom front of the chair so I can slide a piece of PVC through to act as a brace point for the base. After cutting that slot on both sides, I use a hacksaw blade to cut away the foam from that area. I cut and test fit a piece of PVC board for the base. After sliding the PVC brace point through the control chair, I connect it to the base with super glue. I measure and cut pieces of 4mm EVA foam to act as speakers for the control chair. The speakers will be on both sides of the chair at air level for the Aquillian and will consist of 2 layers of 4mm EVA foam for depth. I'll be using my hole punch set to cut various size circles in the first layer of EVA foam for the speakers. Then I'll attach the 2 layers together with contact cement. I cut the edge of the back piece of foam at an angle. That way I'll have a 45-degree projection toward the front of the chair. The speakers are then attached to the top front edge of each side of the chair using contact cement. I'll have to get the okay from the pilot on the comfort of the design before I can continue with this project. Don't let the sad face fool you. He told me that everything is just perfect. To fashion the controls, I'll be using 1/8-inch copper tubing. I'm bending a semicircle inside the copper tubing that'll mirror the base of the chair. This will act as a main junction point for the control unit. It'll be sealed in place with hot glue. With the main junction piece in place, I cut various sizes of straight pieces of copper tubing that'll act as the control levers. I also have some 1/4-inch copper couplings that I'll split down the center with my bandsaw. I don't recommend this and probably wouldn't do it again because the bandsaw could pull your hand into a dangerous position. After the slits are cut into the 1/4-inch copper couplings, I pry them open enough to fit over the 1/8-inch copper tubing. After prepping the couplings, I solder each piece of this straight copper tubing to them, just opposite of the slit. Tinning both pieces before making the connection. For safety, use a pair of pliers to make this connection, because there's a tremendous amount of heat transfer. I repeated this process for all 5 pieces of tubing, and then cooled them down with water. I placed the Aquillian back into its control seat so I could determine the exact position of the levers. Putting different bends in each of the levers for both function and aesthetics. I went back to my stockpile of seemingly useless items to make handles for the levers. After attaching the end cap to the levers, I utilized my rotary hand tool to trim and clean them. I hand painted the main control junction silver and spray painted the levers to match it. After sliding the slit couplings over the main control junction, I crimped them into position. I used a small amount of hot glue to attach the Aquillian's hands to a couple of the control levers. As well as a small amount of hot glue to keep the levers in place. And this is the end of the first part of this build. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and press that bell notification. The second part is going to be a doozy. I don't want you to miss out on it.